This is PBS.
It rocks, it rolls, it soothes, and it grooves. The world's greatest jazz, classical, pop, and rock pianists take the stage by storm in an extraordinary tribute to the piano's 300th birthday. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime concert with host Billy Joel. Piano Grand, a Smithsonian celebration.
Coming soon on PBS. Next on PBS, John Williams and the Boston Pops are joined by Yo-Yo Ma, author Frank McCourt, and Patti LuPone. Evening at Pops is next on PBS.
My God, isn't this a great country altogether? And I tell him, 'tis.
Laureate conductor John Williams and his guests, Frank McCourt, author of Angela's Ashes, Yo-Yo Ma, and Patti LuPone, tonight on Evening at Pops.
This program is funded in part by Fidelity Investments. Fidelity has helped millions of Americans invest for over 50 years. We can help you do the same.
Tonight it's a special treat to have as our guest the author, Frank McCourt, along with the great cellist Yo-Yo Ma, as we perform this suite from Angela's Ashes. I love the book Angela's Ashes, and I felt privileged to compose the score for the film.
My father and mother should have stayed in New York, where they met and married, and where I was born. Instead, they returned to Ireland when I was 4, my brother Malachy 3, the twins Oliver and Eugene barely 1, and my sister Margaret dead and gone. My father, Malachy McCourt, was born on a farm in Tuam, County Antrim. Like his father before, he grew up wild, in trouble with the English or the Irish, or both. He fought with the old IRA, and for some desperate act, he wound up a fugitive with a price on his head. After wandering and drinking in America and England, he returned to Belfast, which erupted all around him. He said, a pox on all their houses, and chatted with the ladies of Andersonstown. They tempted him with delicacies, but he waved them away and drank his tea. He no longer smoked or touched alcohol, so what was the use? It was time to go, and he died in the Royal Victoria Hospital. My mother, the former Angela Sheehan, grew up in a slum in Limerick. She never saw her father, who'd run off to Australia weeks before her birth. Her troubles began the night she was born with her mother, my grandmother, heaving and gasping with the labor pains. There's Nurse O'Halloran, the midwife, all dressed up in her finery for New Year's Eve. She tells my grandmother, will you push? Will you push? If you don't hurry with this child, it won't be born to the new year. And what good would that be to me with me new dress? Grandma pushes, and the child is in the world, a lovely girl with black curly hair and sad blue eyes. And the child was named Angela for the Angelus, which rang the midnight hour, the new year. When I look back on my childhood, I wonder how my brothers and I managed to survive it all. It was, of course, a miserable childhood. The happy childhood is hardly worth your while. Worse than the ordinary miserable childhood is the miserable Irish childhood. And worse yet is the miserable Irish Catholic childhood. In the mornings, I'd get up early with my father so that I'd have him to myself, so that he could tell me stories and explain the world to me. We were tormented with fleas, but he told me that if a man could jump like a flea, one leap would take him halfway to the moon. He said that St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland and the English brought in the fleas. When he tells us new babies are brought by angels and left on the 7th step of our stairs, my brother Malachy wants to know, what if you don't have stairs? Dad says asking too many questions is an affliction. Now Malachy wants to know what an affliction is, and Dad tells him, "Och, child, the world is an affliction and everything in it." My brother Eugene is dead, and I don't know why we can't keep him. His twin Oliver died months ago, and they put him in a white box and buried him in the ground. Dad showed us how to pray. Dear God, this is what you want, isn't it? You want my son Eugene. You took his brother Oliver. You took his sister Margaret. I'm not supposed to question that, am I? I don't know why children have to die, but that is your will. Could you at least be merciful and leave us the children we have? That is all we ask. Amen. After Eugene's funeral, Dad said he was going to the labor exchange to get the dole. He said he'd be home by noon. He said we'd have rashers and eggs and tea. He wasn't home by noon, or 1 or 2, or any time before the sun went down that day in May. Dad said the prayers of children like Malachi and me would be worth more in heaven than the prayers of 10 cardinals and 40 bishops together. But I wasn't sad anymore because I knew that Margaret and Oliver and Eugene were up in the sky in heaven, away from the damp that kills, and where there's plenty of fish and chips, and where all the fathers bring home the dole money, and you don't have to go looking in pubs for them the way we looked for my father when he drank. My father was like the Holy Trinity, with 3 people in him. The one in the morning with his tea and cigarettes telling us stories. The one who tried so hard to find work, but never did. And the one who came home at night with the smell of the whiskey on him. He would tell us stories where motor cars and airplanes traveled underwater. Submarines flew up in the air, and polar bears wrestled with elephants on the moon. If we asked him to make up a story about a neighbor, he'd have us laughing around the fire, and ever after, we'd look at that neighbor with wonder. There was one day when I knew I was a man and not a boy anymore. Hundreds of Irish men and women went to work in England during the war, and they sent home thousands of pounds. When my father went to England, he worked like everyone else, but drank his money in the pubs of Coventry and forgot he had a wife and 4 children in Limerick. Once we had a letter to say he'd be home for Christmas, and my mother said he'd surely bring enough money for a dinner, and maybe we'd have presents like the rich people. But it was the old story. His money was gone, and all he had was a box of chocolates, half eaten. Ma'am knew there was no use talking to him, and she didn't want to make this Christmas Day worse than it was. She told him, "Sit down and have dinner with us, a nice sheep's head." No, he said, he wouldn't have anything, just the eye of the sheep, which he plucked from the socket and swallowed. Then he said he'd be on his way back to England. He took his bag and walked up the lane, and when he turned and told me, "Go home, Frankie, go home to your mother," I knew I was no longer a boy. It's a grey day, and I'm pushing my little brother Alfie through the streets in his pram. I go by the Redemptorist Church, and there's my mother in the middle of a small crowd, begging for food left over from the priest's dinner. That's worse than going on the dole, worse than the charity from the St. Vincent de Paul Society. It's the worst kind of shame in the world. My own mother begging like the tinkers who hold up their scabby children on the streets. But soon I'm 14, And now I have my first job, delivering telegrams at the post office. We know every door in every avenue, road, street, and lane in Limerick. There are slow days at the post office, and we sit on the bench and talk. We can talk, but we are not to laugh. Miss Barry, the supervisor, says we should be grateful we're getting paid to sit there. Bunch of idlers and street boys that we are, and there's to be no laughing. Getting paid for sitting and chatting is no laughing matter. And the first titter out of any of us, and out we go till we come to our senses. And if the tittering continues, we'll be reported to the proper authorities. The boys talk about her under their breath. Toby Mackey says, what that old bitch needs is a good rub of the relic. There's laughing along the bench, and Miss Barry calls to us. I warned ye against the laughing. Mackey, what is it you're prattling about over there? I said we'd all be better off out in the fresh air on this fine day delivering telegrams, Miss Barry. I'm sure you did, Mackey. Your mouth is a lavatory. Did you hear me? I did, Miss Barry. You've been heard on the stairs, Mackey. Yes, Miss Barry. Shut up, Mackey. I will, Miss Barry. Not another word, Mackey. No, Miss Barry. I said shut up, Mackey. All right, Miss Barry. That's the end of it, Mackey. Don't try me. I won't, Miss Barry. Mother of God, give me patience. Yes, Miss Barry. Take the last word, Mackey. Take it, take it, take it. I will, Miss Barry. At last, I have the fare to America, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I walk around Limerick to all the streets I grew up in. I sit at the graves of my brothers Oliver and Eugene. Wherever I go, I hear the voices of the dead and wonder if they'll follow me to America. I have strange feelings, and sometimes when I'm sitting by the fire with Mam and my brothers, I feel tears coming, and I'm ashamed of myself for being weak. My little brother Michael says, we'll all go to America. Dad will be there, Malachy will be there, and we'll all be together. Till Mam herself cries and laughs and says, my bladder must be near my eye. The night before I left, there was an eclipse of the moon, and my Uncle Pa said, this was only the beginning for Frankie McCourt. He said I'd be back in a few years with a new suit and fat on my bones like any Yank, and a lovely girl with white teeth and her hanging from my arm. But now I stood on the deck of the Irish Oak on my way to America, and behind me, Ireland twinkled and slipped gently into the night. Days later, I stand on the same deck, watching the lights of America along the Hudson River. The ship's officer standing next to me says, my God, isn't this a great country altogether? And I tell him, 'tis.
When we put together tonight's program, Yo-Yo Ma suggested that we perform the Green Groves of Arran, which is a country tune from Ireland, adapted by Edgar Meyer and the violinist Mark O'Connor, and arranged especially for the Boston Pops by Patrick Williams. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Please welcome to the stage one of Broadway's brightest stars and one of the best singer-actresses of her generation. Please welcome Patti LuPone.
As you listen to the band, don't you get a bubble? As you listen to them play, don't you get a glow? If you step out on the floor, you'll forget your trouble. If you go into your dance, you'll forget your woes. So come get together, let the dance floor feel your leather. Step as lightly as a feather, let yourself go. Come hit the timber, loosen up and start to limber. Can't you feel that hot marimba? Let yourself go, let yourself go. Relax and let yourself go. Relax, you got yourself tied up in a knot. The night is cold, but the music's hot. So come, got a closer. Don't you dare to answer no, sir. Put your banker, clerk, and grocer. Let yourself go. Let yourself go, relax and let yourself go. Relax, you got yourself tied up in a knot. The night is cold, but the music's hot, so I'm stepping out with my baby. Can't go wrong, 'cause I'm in right. It's for sure, not for maybe, that I'm all dressed up tonight. Stepping out with my honey. Can't be bad to feel so good. Never felt quite so sunny. And I keep on knocking wood. They'll be smooth sailing, 'cause I'm trimming my sails with a bright shine on my shoes and on my nails. Stepping out with my baby, can't go wrong, 'cause I'm in right. Ask me when will the day be? The big day may be tonight. Hi. How you doing? What's your name? Bob? Hi, Bob. Listen, Bob, we've been here all day, working really hard to get this show right just for you. You're welcome. I don't know about the orchestra, but I haven't had any dinner. Would you do me a favor? If I give you a little order, could you go into the kitchen and fill it for me? Thank you. It's not big, and I'm sure you can do it. Peel me a grape, crush me some ice, skin me a peach, save the fuzz for my pillow. Start me a smoke, talk to me nice. You gotta wine me and dine me. Don't try to fool me, bejewel me. Either amuse me or lose me. I'm getting hungry. Peel me a grape. What are you still sitting there for? Pop me a cork, French me a fry, crack me a nut, bring a bowl full of bonbons, chill me some wine, keep standing by, just entertain me, champagne me, show me you love me, kid glove me, best way to cheer me, cashmere me. I'm getting hungry, peel me a grape. You ought to be an agreeable chap, love me and leave me in luxury's lap, hop when I holler, skip when I snap, wow when I say do it, jump to it, send off for scotch, boil me a crab, cut me roast, make my tea with the kettle, oh, just hang around, pick up the tab, never outthink me, just mink me, pull up a rug me, don't bug me, new thunderbird me, you heard me, get hungry, peel me a grape. He's ought to be an agreeable chap, love me and leave me in luxury's lap, hop when I holler, skip when I snap, wow when I say do it, jump to it, set up a scotch, boil me a crab, cut me roast, make my tea with a pedal, oh, just hang around, pick up the tab, never outthink me, just mink me, pull up a rug me, don't bug me, new thunderbird me, you heard me. Get hungry! Peel me a grape. Peel me a grape. Peel me a grape. Peel me a grape. Hey, Bob, make it the seedless kind. Thank you very much. Here, I'll take a good one. Sometimes I think my heart will burst like a balloon inside my chest, with all the love that's waiting here unexpressed. Fingers that ache to intertwine, warmest of chords but missing tune. Where is the laughter echo but maybe the love we yearn to give can find a release some other way, coloring how we choose to live every day, the kindness we can share. The kindness we can share, the comfort these two arms might lend in despair. Someone's always in despair. Still I'm longing to meet that pair of eyes, dark as the night or endless blue, holding a light, a recognize something clear, something true, something that seems to mean something I haven't seen since you. Somebody hold me too close, somebody hurting too deep, somebody sit in my chair and ruin my sleep and make me aware of being alive, being alive. Somebody need me too much, somebody know me too well, somebody pull me up short and put me through hell and give me support for being alive. Make me alive, make me alive, make me confused, mock me with praise, let me be used, vary my days, but alone is alone, not alive. Somebody crown me with love, somebody force me to care, somebody let me come through. I'll always be there, as frightened as you, to help us survive. Being alive, being alive, being alive. I love a place where dreams are born and time is never planned. It's not on any chart. You must find it with your heart. Never, never land. It might be miles beyond the moon, or right there where you stand. Just have an open mind, and then suddenly you'll find never, never land. You'll have a treasure if you stay there, more precious far than gold. For once you have found your way there, you can never, never grow old. So come with me where dreams are born and time is never planned. Just think of lovely things and your heart will fly on wings forever in never, never land. You'll have a treasure if you stay there, more precious far than gold. For once you have found your way there, you can never, never grow old. So come with me where dreams are born and time is never planned. Just think of lovely things and your heart will fly on wings forever in never, never
For a list of the pieces performed on tonight's Evening at Pops concert and more, visit PBS online at www.pbs.org. The Fidelity Foundation is proud to sponsor the Pops on PBS.
We are the Erie Suzuki Strings, and we are here at the WQLN
Foundation. Don't miss Anne of Green Gables, the continuing story, in its entirety tonight on WQLN TV 54.
I have something to ask you.
I do.
Beginning at 7 p.m., Part 1 finds Anne reunited with heartthrob fiancé Gilbert Blythe, only to lose him to the horrors of the First World War. Then at 9, Part 2 takes Anne across the battlefields of France looking for lost love. Instead, she finds... It's TV worth watching. Back-to-back Anne of Green Gables, the continuing story. Tonight at 7 p.m. on WQLN TV 54.
WQLN TV 54 Erie, your source for great performances.